Hello guys, this is Kudo, and today we'll continue our mini-series on Firebase, and in this video we will see how we can send a push notification during a runtime game. So, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, in El Professor Kudo Firebase asset, again, do not forget to download the last package. Let's go on Firebase hostic file sample, and let's go on function, and let's open index. So this is basically like a sample of the index.js you will need to send on a Firebase to create a function and to be able to send push notification. This is only a sample, and what we will be interested of is this part, so the sound notification, sound channel, and also this one. And I make some improvement with the require and the v2. So remember we got the function for sign-in, so this is some function request, okay? And what we be interested of is this one. So basically I create a simple function. When the user reach the score of 5, we will send a notification. So to do that, what we want to do, we just need to check if the document is updated. And when the document is updated, we'll check the user from the user ID. So basically, you will be able to select a specific user. And each time, basically, unfortunately, the function will call each time. And if no data has changed, nothing will be triggered. If some data change, we'll check which data it changed. In my case, the data I will be interested of is the data score. So make sure to write score or your field correctly because this is case sensitive. So here we check if the score is under 5 or upper or equal to 5, and if it's the case, we will get basically the FCM token. This is basically a unique token to identify each client, and if the client got this, we will be able to send the push notification. So this is the construct of the notification. So we got the body, the title, and the body. So something very basic. Congratulations, you reach a score of 5, and we need the token, the notification, and how this is created. We create one for Android and also one for iOS. So iOS is using APNS and Android is using Android. Something very easy. Here we got the channel ID. So the channel ID, or in Apple is sound. This is something used by, for example, Snapchat. When you receive some notification, you have some different sound. You don't have the sound from default phone, but they got some specific sound. And with this one, by creating a channel ID, we'll be able to change the sound. If you don't want to change the sound, as I read here, just write default like this and like this. In my case, I want to create a custom sound, and we'll see how we can make this. If you don't want, just change this by default. No worry about that. And also, this will log some debug in the Google console to see if we're able to send the notification. So again, this is only the sample. Make sure to copy everything and do not forget to save this data. So I will make the change. I will change my index.js with this sample, and I will take you back. Okay, so I was able to copy everything. Again, my function, my deploying function is in here. Remember, I put Firebase, apply redirect, and function. If you don't know how to create everything, you should watch the episode on Android Apple sign-in. I explain everything. And now what we want to do, we need to deploy this function. But because we're using on-document updating, what we need to do, we need to go on Google Console. So let's go on Google Console. Okay, we are on Google Console. Select your project. So I only got one project, so my Unity Firebase Toolkit. What we want to do, we want to go on navigation menu. Let's select I am an admin. Let's click on this. And what we want to do, we want to click on grant access. So let's click on that. And as you can see, we need to grant some access. So I will grant some access on some group. So the group will be service, the number of your project, and after at GCP SA Eventarc IAM gserviceaccount.com. So don't worry, I will copy paste in the description. Like that, we just need to select it, but this number should be different from you because this is my project number. So let's select this, okay? And we need to select a role and filter by role. Let's paste the Eventarc service agent. So let's select this. Okay, now we can save that. And as you can see, it may take a few minutes to change become active. So make sure to wait maybe 2 to 5 minutes before deploying. Okay, so now what we want to do, we need to navigate to our Firebase. So mine is the folder Firebase Apple Redirect when I add this function, so the index.js, and we need to update to be able to create the on-document update. So if I open Firebase right now, I don't have any function created yet. So what we want to do, we want to deploy, and as you can see, we got the handle Apple Redirect and exchange Apple code, and basically if I deploy everything, I should have a new function called notify when score hit 5. So let's deploy this, Firebase deploy. Okay, let's click enter and let's wait. Okay, so now as you can see, the deploy is completed. So if I go on Firebase data and let's go on function again, as you can see, we're able to see our function notify when score 5. Okay, so now we're back in Unity and we'll be interested for the iOS part first. So let's go on resources, and as you can see on resources, I give you an alert. So this is my custom audio, and you will see what is my custom audio after. So make sure this audio, if you want to have a custom one, I name it alert, but you can change it, doesn't really matter. But if you change it, you will need to change the name in the setting. So here, so let's go on setting, on Android, iOS, Firebase setting. Here, you will need to change the name here. So alert.wave. So if you, I don't know, if you name it like my custom notification .wave, you will need to write my custom notification .wave. Make sure this is on lowercase only. Also, make sure to add the extension, and also make sure the song is lower than 30 seconds. If it's upper than 30 seconds, this will not work, and iOS will just skip this. If you don't want custom song, just uncheck this. You will not. You will use the basic song. So for the iOS part, so let's go on the plugin. Let's go on iOS, and I will quickly show you how I made the plugin. So for notification, and let's open this in Visual Studio Code. So as you can see, I kept the same architecture for the Google and Apple sign-in. I got the bridge, I got the declaration, and I got the wrapper. So the wrapper will be able to call this function from the Swift, and the .h is a declaration like C++1. So something very basic. I create this function send notification and request permission. So the request permission allow you to ask for the user to allow permission for the notification. Keep in mind, if the user don't allow notification, this will not work. Okay, so now we see the Swift, we see the .h and we see the .mm. Now let's see the C#. Okay, so this is the manager of the Firebase push notification. As you can see, I make some change from the previous video because I separate the push notification for iOS and Android. And as you can see, we got the init Firebase messaging, so that doesn't change. These functions are very important because they subscribe to the message received and the token received. Remember, in the index.js, we will need the FCM token. So each device receives different FCM token. So when the user is registering, we need to basically save the FCM token. So I make a try send FCM token, and if it's able to send it, it will send it. Okay, and when you will receive a notification using the Firebase function we just created, this on message received will be ring, and we got the message receiver with the title and the body. In this case, we're using iOS, so for the iOS we call notification call iOS like this, and in the notification call iOS, I make something very similar to the Google sign-in and Apple sign-in. I import the DLL internal, and I call the iOS notification send. The iOS notification send is the wrapper from the MM, and this one we'll call the Swift. And as you can see, we got also the iOS notification request permission. So this one is allowing us to ask for the user to send him notification. Same, we got this in the wrapper here, and this will call the Swift. And this is initialized over there in init Firebase messaging. this is called in the awake function. So if I do this, because we are in editor, this is not trigger, but if I do this, this is in it here. So in the Firecall service over there during the initiation of Firebase. Okay, so I tried to make it very easy for you. Just need to plug and play and this will work for you. But I think it's important to me to explain how I code this thing. And yeah, so that was for the iOS part. Now for the Android part is very similar. So let's go on the Android part. And before diving into the C#, let's see the AAR I create or the Android Studio project. Okay, so as you can see, I use again the same architecture for the Google Sign-in and Apple Sign-in. I create like this for the metadata key. If you want to change the name of your alert, so by default is called alert. But the difference between iOS and Android, unfortunately, if you want to have a custom sound, you will need to rebuild the IAR and put it again, because the sound is here. So in the main, rest and alert.wave. If you want to change it, let's say you want sound super sound notification, you will need to put super sound notification here. And if I open Unity, in the setting, you can change the name over there and he will do the rest over here. So here he will try to grab if you have the metadata in the manifest, same as the Google Sign-in and Apple Sign-in AAR I create. And here we got the two basically function that allow us to send notification. So as you can see, we got the show foreground notification default and the show foreground notification custom. As the names stand for themselves, so this one will use the default sound and this one will use the custom sound. Also, you can see the function are pretty similar and almost the same. This is the only thing changing. Why I duplicate this code, you may ask me. For a simple reason, this is for you. Basically, if people want to custom this function or custom this function depending on the user, this is why I just duplicate this code. I can like refactor everything and make it in a simple function, but I prefer letting you custom your function as you wish. Again, I will not dive in too much in the Java code because this is not the purpose of this video. And if we head back to the C#, this is the main thing we want to see. As you can see, we init the notification helper. So here we'll try to get the plugin. So in my case, this one. Also, we will do a request notification permission, so same as the iOS but for Android part. So this is a basic code for asking notification permission. And here we got the notification call. Same as iOS, so we got the notification call over there, and we call the function show foreground notification custom. Again, you can use the other one, so notification default. We need to add in parameters the activities, the title and the body. And here, if I go back again in Android Studio, you can choose between those two functions. By the way, I never show you how you can build the AAR. It's very easy. You go on build and you click on assemble module. Okay, so now I can close the Android Studio project because I don't need this anymore. And if I go back to the push notification manager, as you can see, for the Android part follows the same as the iOS part. So we request the notification, we init the AAR plugin, and also here we push the notification in case of Android. Don't worry, even if you are in iOS, this will call, but don't worry because I got the sharp if Android. This will not destruct any of the code. Okay, so now let's try to build for iOS and Android. Okay, so I build for iOS. No, so now let's open the Xcode workspace. Okay, so in Unity iPhone, make sure to in sign capability to have the sign in. Also make sure to add the capability. So make sure to add push notification. And also make sure to add background remote notification. So background mode and remote notification. Okay, also if you got custom sound, make sure in the Unity iPhone, so if I open this, you should have like a folder I create, so the sound, and you should have alert over there. Okay, so now I will build for Android and I will launch both of the application. Okay, so I built both of the application on my Android and iOS device. So now let's launch them together. So, okay, let's launch them. So as you can see, the Android device asks me for authorize the notification. So let's authorize it. Also for the Android iOS part, they will also ask me to allow a notification. So let's also authorize them. So as you can see, we got some user already logged in the iOS. We need to do the same for the Android. So let's go on sign in Google. Okay, let's sign with some account, this one. And as you can see, we got both of them, the user. So now let's go on show score. Okay. And basically, when the score will hit 5 on the Android and iOS device, I should receive an instance notification. So let's go for them. So let's add some score. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's try on the Android first. So let's go hit 5 and we should see a notification over there. And as you can see, you can hear, congratulations, you reached a score of 5. And we got my custom sound from Detective Conan. We will do the same for the iOS. And as you can see, we got the same thing. Okay then, so there it is guys. So the push notification with the Android and iOS. Okay, one thing I want to show you is the log of the push notification. So let's go on Firebase. Let's go on function. And as you can see here, we got the notification when score hit 5. So you got the 3 dots over there. Let's click on this and you can see view log. So let's click on them. And here we got the user. So I think this is the token from the user on Android and this one for iOS. If you see this message, it means the notification is sent. If this is triggered and you don't see the notification, it means the configuration on your mobile is not good or you did something wrong. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Do not hesitate to subscribe, thumb up and comment. It will be very helpful for me. Also, if you feel like it, do not hesitate to buy me coffee. It will be very appreciated and very nice from you. I don't know if I will make another video on Firebase because I think I cover most of the subject on Firebase. But if something else happened in my mind, I will do it for sure. If you want me to show you other stuff in Firebase with Unity, do not hesitate to comment and give me some idea. But by the time, I guess I'll catch you guys next time. Bye bye.